So if you don't go wide receiver early in your draft again this season, you're just doing it all wrong. This is the Fantasy Sports Boss. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. This has been a an argument on my part pretty much throughout my entire career as the Fantasy Sports Boss. I've been doing this now for almost 20 years. And really, once the rise of the PPR leagues came about and the decline of the bell cow running back, really, especially over the last 5 to 7 years, going wide receiver heavy, and even elite tight end with Travis Kelce has been the way to go. There's no doubt about it. And then, it's you have the anchor running back crowd, which, I could maybe understand that somewhat. But the days of drafting running back, or even like running back, wide receiver, running back, those are over, and they should be. All right. Last season, once again, was a reminder of how volatile the running back position is. We only had just a handful of guys who acted as pure bell cow backs, and B is that the injury effect at the running back position is so much more pronounced than at wide receiver, tight end, even quarterback than any other position. It's ridiculous. And also you have very, very quick drop-offs at the position. Guys get beat up when they hit that, age 28, 29, they can fall off a cliff quickly, like we saw with Austin Ekeler last year. And here's the thing, guys. There were 8 running backs last year who had a top 30 ADP for 2023 fantasy football. And it's interesting that most of these guys went down as busts. Now, Christian McCaffrey was the number 1 pick, and anybody that used the anchor strategy and got him, they probably won their league because McCaffrey was unbelievable. He's going to be the number 1 pick again this year, but he's turning 28. So again, we got to worry about that age. I'm telling you guys right now, if I had the top pick in the draft this year, I really would be tempted to take Bijan Robinson. But anyway, getting back to this list, so McCaffrey's ADP was 3.2 last year. Obviously, was a smashing success. Austin Ekeler was next at 7.1. Gigantic bust. Was a fantasy MVP candidate the year before. Last year, just nothing went right. Was it the high ankle sprain? I don't know. He looked like he aged 100 years yesterday. Now he's in Washington in a part-time role. Bijan Robinson, 7.8. Not his fault. We all know what was going on with Arthur Smith. I think Bijan Robinson was really good. I think he's the top player outside of McCaffrey this season. I prefer him over McCaffrey because, again, we're not drafting players based on what they did last year. We're drafting them going forward. Robinson, only 23. He's going to be featured in this offense. He's going to be catching a lot of passes. He's going to run all over the place. This is a new offense that's going to unleash him. I really like Bijan Robinson. Nick Chubb, 11.4 last year. Bust. He tore up his knee. Really, really ugly injury. Like, this is the same knee he injured badly in college as well. Very, very bad situation for Nick Chubb this season. Saquon Barkley was the 5th back off the board, 15.1. Mildly disappointing. Really bad Giants team, but Barkley really hasn't been a star since his rookie season. You want to say that ACL injury took some speed from him? Maybe. But Barkley was just a mild disappointment last year. Tony Pollard, 15.9 ADP. He was the 6th back off the board. As inefficient as any player, no matter the position last year. Like, he was comically inept. Was it the injury from last year? Who knows? But now he's in Tennessee on a really bad offense. An offense that has tools for Will Levis, but you have a rookie quarterback there, and you have the very, very enticing Tajay Spears. Derrick Henry, 20.5. Derrick Henry did Derrick Henry things. He scored touchdowns. He generally ran well, but he's really like the personification of an aging running back. But he's in a really good spot with Baltimore this year. So Derrick Henry, he generally... he supplied the value last year. And then finally, Josh Jacobs, 25.9. Injuries, woefully inefficient compared to the year before. And now he's in Green Bay. So realistically, looking at this list, you can make excuses for Robinson. Derrick Henry was solid. McCaffrey was great. 5 of those top running backs last year in 2023, ADP went down as busts. Now this year, McCaffrey, of course, he's turning 28. Breece Hall, love Breece Hall this year. I love Bijan Robinson this year. You know that. But Jonathan Taylor, I already talked about how I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be a big bust this year. Jahmyr Gibbs, generally like the 5th back off the board. He's in a timeshare, whether you like to admit it or not. If you're a Jahmyr Gibbs truther, David Montgomery scored a boatload of touchdowns last year. He's not going away. And this is going to be a committee. So you're going to tell me you're going to take use a 1st-round pick on a guy who's not guaranteed the majority of goal line carries and also is going to, cede 40% of the carries to David Montgomery. Travis Etienne, I do like Travis Etienne. Saquon Barkley, always there's always an allure with Saquon Barkley, and now he's playing behind the best offensive line that he's ever played with, so there is some value there. But Kyren Williams, I think Kyren Williams is going to be a big problem this year. Kenneth Walker, I've always, could not stand Kenneth Walker. Devin Achane is going to be grossly overdrafted when you still have a very effective Raheem Mostert there. Derrick Henry's going to have a good year in Baltimore, scoring a lot of touchdowns. To me, again, the middle of the rounds, the round 4, 5, 6, Rachaad White, Isaiah Pacheco, David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, James Cook. These are Joe Mixon. I know he's aging, but he's going to be the main guy in this offense. Ramondre Stevenson, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara. That's where you got to get your running backs this year. Let me know what you guys think. I know I'm going to be stocking up on wide receivers the first couple of rounds, and then come back to running back later on. Let me know what you think about that strategy this season. Post in the comments below.